Like, find something else to bullshit about. Be mad at her about something else. Talk shit about people for other reasons. Keep talking about Drew's wig. Like, I'm cool with the trivial bullshit, but that, like, leave that alone, sis. Like, you don't have to go that far. That's just too deep. Like, and it's too hate. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel, being Simone Iman. This is Simone Iman, and over here I do a little bit of everything. I do a little bit of television show reviews, product hauls, product reviews, clothing hauls, just a little bit of everything. Some little health and fitness, I'm going to get into that. If you're interested in those things, or if you're feeling my vibe, my style, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification so that you know anytime I upload a video. Today we are talking about Housewives of Atlanta. So I'm getting further along with Housewives of Atlanta, of course, as the season progresses, but I'm not as interested as I thought I would be. Now, granted, I'm a Nene stan. However, I do understand when it's time to pack your bags and leave. Okay? You got the bread and leave. I don't think that it's a total fail of a season. I just think it starts out really slow. We just gotta call a thing a thing. COVID ain't no punk. And although people are pushing through, specifically like with television and film production, like, COVID is here, honey. And I feel like that has had an impact on a lot of the scenes that they've shot, all that kind of stuff. So it's just not, it's not giving us what it used to give, and that's kind of an adjustment to make. But I'm still here. Now, I don't know if I want to commit to the whole season, but I'm still here. If anything changes, you know, I'll let y'all know ahead of time, okay? The episode, this is Real Housewives of Atlanta season 13 episode 4, and it starts off with Cynthia, Mal, and Kenya going to do a yoga. It's one thing about them Bailey sisters, baby, they got figures, okay? Because Mal built and we know Cynthia is a brick house. They go to do yoga, whatever, and when Kenya came in, Kenya was just giving weird energy. Like, I don't know, Kenya gives me narcissistic vibes. If it ain't about her, if it's not her thing, her event, her plan, she don't give it, you know, the respect that it deserves. But nonetheless, I think that in Kenya's confessionals, especially with like that braided look, like, she, to me, honestly, from the outside as a viewer and a long time viewer, I've been watching Housewives since college, Atlanta Housewives. Kenya is putting on, and I've heard Candy and some other housewives say that before, that Kenya wants to make the show good. And just some of the comments that she makes and her commentary, it's a try. Like, Nene is off the cuff. The words don't have to be like actually phonetically sound, or even in a dictionary for that point, but Nene just was a natural at this. I feel like Kenya is trying. Anyway, Cynthia, in her first world problem, she's talking about this super spreader event of a wedding that she's trying to have. I love me some Cynthia Bailey, but I couldn't be any more against her having this huge wedding during a pandemic. And she tells Kenya what's going on between her and Mike Hill, the discussion that they had with Mal at the venue about being committed to the marriage, committed to the date, committed to the venue, like, which is more important. And Kenya kind of called a thing a thing. It's like, it seems as if Cynthia only wants to get married on the show for the production of it all. Later on, when Candy and Kenya shoot their scene, though, Candy does say, you know, she got married in brokenness. Like, she really couldn't afford to get married the way she really wanted to the first time. So I can see her wanting to have it all. But then also, you're 50 plus. This isn't your first marriage. Like, girl, ride the wave. Even her small wedding, she could have went buku over the top with at her home. Like, flying roses from Europe. Like, if you want to go hard, there were so many other safer ways that she could have done that. But I digress. The friction between them when they were talking about, you know, what Cynthia was feeling and what she was saying and how they weren't adding up. I am, you know, although I don't always agree with Kenya, those are the type of friendships you want to have with your good girlfriends. Your good girlfriends are supposed to be able to hold you to the fire, hold you accountable, and say, sis, you're not making a lot of sense right now. That's maturity, that's adulthood, that's just like, those are the type of friends you want as a grown-ass woman, you know? So I did like that about that scene. And then Kenya goes on to say that last year she wasn't in a good place. And so she did things that hurt the people that she loves. And she talked about how she almost basically ruined Cynthia's engagement. And I don't know, Kenya just gives hater friend energy. Even though she was supposed to hold Cynthia accountable in that moment, I totally agree with that. She does. Kenya just gives big time hater friend energy. The next scene is Kenya and Candy going out to their lunch or whatever. And Kenya like, I'm watching my figure, I'm gonna have a salad. Candy wanted them wings and them fries, but she didn't want to say she wanted them wings and them fries, but she got them wings and them fries. Kenya then tells her, you know, I felt bad, I almost ruined Cynthia's proposal and I want to make it up to her. I want to throw her an engagement party. She kind of late, but, and I'm going to touch on this a little later. These women are pulling and grasping at straws to try to film scenes and make the show interesting amidst the pandemic. It's only so much they can do. Thank God the restaurants is open, because what would they do with no restaurant? Nowhere to go eat and talk shit about people. Ain't that the premise of the show? She says she wants to have this engagement party for Cynthia, but she wants Candy to invite everyone. And Candy kind of makes it bare because nobody gonna come if you invite them. First of all, you can't call them to invite them or text them to invite them. So you want to use my name. And basically that's what's going on. But I'm gonna take a huge pause here for the cause. I get where they're going with this. If you watch Funky Dineva's reviews, he talks a lot about how production has gotten lazy on these shows that have been going on for seasons. One thing about it, we know, if the call sheet says you are to film a scene at this time and this date, this is a job for these ladies. They are going to be filming, they're going to show up. I gotta visit them. I'm back. But one thing is, like, if these people say you're gonna be here at this day and time, you're gonna be here at this day and time. So I think that's another reason why the season just isn't giving me what I want, because it's so heavily influenced by production and I don't like that. They start talking about because she can't invite everybody because they don't fool with her. They start talking about everything that that Porsha is doing for Black Lives Matter and Breonna Taylor, and here Kenya go, Kenya-ing. She discredits her. It seems as though, you know, she's trying to get arrested, or she's always getting arrested on camera. Hard pause. That's the point. That's how you bring awareness. You record it. You let the world know this is what's going on. It's just like, I get it. Kenya has molded herself. She's found her lane as the agitator, as the antagonist, as the villain of the group. I got you. At what point does your integrity take a hold and you be like, it's only so far I can go? A cast, a production of all black women in a city like Atlanta, you would think that Kenya would find some other bullshit to bullshit about besides Porsha's role in Black Lives Matter and what she's doing as a activist in the Breonna Taylor case. Like, find something else to bullshit about. Be mad at her about something else. Talk shit about people for other reasons. Keep talking about Drew's wig. Like, I'm cool with the trivial bullshit, but that, like, leave that alone, sis. Like, you don't have to go that far. That's just too deep. Like, and it's too haterish. It's just, so you mad you didn't think of that first? Because your storyline for 3 seasons has been about a man who couldn't be more clearer about not wanting you. My little boy is tearing it down in there. Anyway, then they start talking about Kenya and LaToya, and that is also very contrived, also very strategic. When I was watching that though, it made me think about like why Kenya latched on to Candy the way that she did. Kenya she's acting basically, and in order to be close to, or in order to be more of a favorite of the show and solidify her role on the show, she aligned herself with the top fan favorite, because nobody can say that Kandi is not fan favorite on that show. One. And then also, Kandi is the Atlanta it girl. If you want to be on any social scene with celebrities, you gotta not go through Kandi, but she's a great person to have to vouch for you, or to be on your corner, or to be on her invite list. Like, you VIP if you with me type shit, you know? And it just is very strategic. Just Kenya just is really coming off as a very disingenuous person, and I don't like it. Anyway, Kenya also says, as she is like judging and speculating about Porsha and Black Lives Matter, she's like, she's protesting with no mask. Well, sis, you out to eat at a restaurant with no mask on right now, and which is more important, you having a kiki moment at a public restaurant, or Porsha fighting for Breonna Taylor's family's justice? You don't have a mask on right now. Like, it's just a lot for me. The next scene is Drew and her family, her cute little babies. Her grandmother is gonna, her kid's grandmother, her mama, is gonna watch the babies while they go have couples therapy. And Drew says that they've tried therapy multiple times. I could see that, because as much as her situation is toxic, she's fighting the toxicity. The doctor, her name is Love, gets there and they sit down, and the counselor asks each of them what they need from the other, and Drew says that only thing I remember, she said she wants transparency, like honesty, because you went to Tampa, and then also she wants him to show her son true genuine love, because this is his bonus child, and she sometimes feels like he's raising him but not loving him. He's teaching him how to be a man, but he's not showing him any affection, and she doesn't want her baby to grow up with this complex as if he treated his biological children differently from what he treated his biological children differently from what he treated him. And I can see how that can be a concern, and obviously this is not the first time he's heard this. Yeah, that's a red flag, Drew. And if you would have dated him longer than 6 months, maybe you would have picked up on that earlier, sister. I'm just saying, that's like a huge deal. Now, she didn't say he was ugly to her child, but I don't think she would say that on camera. But the context just didn't sit right with me. And then Ralph says that he expects respect and sex 3 times a week. This is the thing with men though, and I've known, this is something I've experienced in my past relationships as an adult woman, just dealing with men in general. Men get over shit really fast, and they expect for you to just be the freak of the week after they done, you know, just berated you, and y'all done had this big blow up drag out fight, and now it's like, oh well, let me scoot over and put my meat on you. Like, it don't work like that. And the more he and her have friction, the less she's gonna be willing to open up to him. This man disappeared for 3 days and he wanna have sex 3 times a week? Well, you missed out on that opportunity for those 72 hours that you was gone. Cause if you want 1, 2, 3 of me, I need to know where you was 1, 2, and 3 days out of that week. It doesn't make sense. And he can't be so insensitive to her in that sense. Like, the amount of trust that it takes to watch your spouse leave and not know where they went is catastrophic. Like, she should have left. He would have left, I would have left. The fact that she stayed and she's trying to work it out with him says so much about Drew and her value for them, their family. But see, this is the thing, and this is the problem for me. They only seem happy as a family when they're with their kids. When it's just them two, it's so much friction and tension, and the littlest thing sets them off. Like, they sitting here having this scene and they're filming for the show, and first of all, he seemed very just not into it. He was laughing. He was like, you gonna cry? If she is gonna cry, this is a therapy session, she should cry if that's what she so feels. It's not for you to like be joking about, or kind of like he was putting on the spot, like she's so emotional, you know. It didn't feel right. And as soon as he like kind of placated her and touched her shoulder, she was like, what was that about? That was so fake. Like, the smallest things go kaboom in their relationship. And it just doesn't seem healthy. Like, they only happy when they eating pancakes with their babies. It's a lot. Then he says, like, you know, the situation with his mom was not valuing him, and so he left and she got evicted, and the only time she ever apologized to him was after he left. And so the counselor is like, oh, you're a leaver, and that's the only time he ever felt validated is after he left his mom, so that's why he's doing that with you. And it's kind of like, but bruh, I'm not your mom, I'm not your wife, and whatever emotions you have tied to your mother, you got to take that up with your mom. Like, you don't take that out on your young wife who's had a bunch of children back to back. Like, there's so many things, so many factors in the Drew Sidora story that make, you know, sense about her being emotional, about her having issues in her marriage, and he just seems so insensitive to it all. I don't like it. I also didn't like the fact that the counselor's face shield was sitting up like this the whole time. It's like, you gonna catch COVID, lady. Yeah, that's it for that scene. And then Cynthia then receives a phone call from Lauren, and Lauren introduces her to the idea that they're gonna have a party to celebrate Porsha. And I love Lauren and Cynthia. They're my birthday twins. We're birthday triplets. We're all born on February 19th. I love that about them. She invites Cynthia, and Cynthia's like, why are you gonna invite Kenya? And she's like, I wasn't planning on it. And she says, okay, if you think it's okay, she can be your +1. That was the Pisces in Lauren. Lauren knew better, but she second guessed herself and she felt on the spot. So she was like, oh, okay, she can come. I would not have. Like, they not in a good place. I get it, like, it's a TV show and all of that, that's her job, but at the end of the day, this is her home. And I feel like you should be, if we're in a public space at a venue, okay, but at my house, no. King can't come to my house. Okay. Candy asks if she can bring a +1 because she's with Marlo and Latoya, and Latoya's sitting there looking like a thirsty puppy, like, ooh, that's nice, y'all got an invitation, you can come too, girl, even though we don't know you. And it just seems like everybody's excited to celebrate and support Porsha, except for hating ass Kenya. Kenya's like, oh, I don't know if I would throw a party to celebrate me, and we're trying to get scenes. That's another thing. Like, Porsha kept reiterating, like, y'all don't have to thank me, y'all don't have to celebrate me, because they shouldn't, and they don't. But they're scrabbling at the bit trying to come up with scenes for them to shoot. And so if we can have a backyard party, shit, it could be for, we could have a 2-year-old birthday for Pilar with all these grown ass women with these big ass titties hanging out everywhere in these stilettos. Pilar, happy birthday. Like, they're trying to make scenes. That's it, that's all. And I feel like it needed, as much as a storyline that this is for Porsha, it just made sense to have an event surrounding that for her. Cynthia calls and invites Kenya. You know, Kenya immediately starts dogging Porsha out. I feel like maybe she just never got over the fact that Porsha wore out her wig in her second season or third season or whatever that was. And then we go to a scene of Joy and Ralph, and unfortunately Ralph's father passed away, which is so sad, and he seemed emotional about it, but there's something about him that gives serial killer. She was like, you can cry if you want to, and he was like, just like, okay. And then we get to Porsha's party scenes, or leading up into, and Tanya goes to pick her up in the matte black Rolls Royce. Tanya is such a vibe, and they're gonna meet Marlo for drinks and food, and they start talking about Dennis and how she and Dennis are no longer together, but Dennis keeps sending Chanel bags to her house. Yes, co-parent. I could co-parent with him any day. Okay. I loved Porsha's look. Look, Porsha be wearing the shit out of their micro links. They're so cute on her. Cynthia then calls Kenya, and Kenya's all chipper and excited, like, ooh, I get to go to a party, because, you know, we always stuck in the house for 6 months. Hard pause. You disinvited. Which is appropriate, and Candy's gonna say that when she get here, and when she talks to her on the phone, when she gets to the party. She's like, the way she was talking, she didn't need to be here. You're a hater. You don't even support. You being fake. Stay your fake ass at home. Cynthia tells Kenya that Lauren doesn't feel comfortable with Kenya being there, and then she's like, somebody's gonna pay for my hair and my makeup. Yeah, that somebody is Kenmora. Kenmora is across the street. That's who's paying for your hair, sis, and your makeup. Then Kenya calls Candy to remind her to tell the women about the party, when really she just wanted to shit on Porsha for one last scene. And Candy's just like, it's probably for the best. Like, get over yourself. This is about Porsha, and I know you don't like Porsha to get any support or shine, but Kenya, come on, sis. Just the villain in her, I feel like for this Black Lives Matter and Breonna Taylor stuff, the villain in Kenya really could have took a back seat. It really could have. She could fuss and fight with everybody for the rest of the season, but not on this one. All the women start showing up, and they're doing a lot of kissing and hellos during COVID, and Fallon is there, and Latoya starts her shit. Latoya start Latoyaing. Oh, you just look like you are married to an older man. Like, is that shade? It's not, because she has seemingly a healthy, happy marriage to a very rich guy. But like, it's not your business, and I don't know you. Candy is like, Latoya is Kenya on steroids. Yeah, she done coached her. She done told her, this is what you do to get on the show. This is how you get the most camera time. Like, and it's clear. It's obvious. Y'all put some tea tree oil on my face, and my nose is just itching. I must be allergic. Lauren knows how to throw a party. The food and the libations looked amazing. They had lamb chops. And then Porsha Luther King drives up, and she's so emotional and so happy. And they go in the backyard, and she does a couple of speeches. I feel like Porsha's always self-conscious of people questioning her motives just because she's a celebrity. But it's like, do I sit back and do nothing because people like Kenya gonna be questioning what I'm doing this for? Hell no. Like, I get it. Like, she didn't want to be celebrated for it. But since we're here, you know, I'm just glad my sis didn't break out the Hennessy bottles. Candy said during the scene filming in her interview that these girls make her feel old, so she know they make Cynthia feel ancient. It's weird. It's getting weird. Just seeing them sit there with them little young ass girls, like, what could they possibly be talking about? Fashion over? Like, it is. It's like Nordstrom and Neiman's, and then got a little Fashion Nova on here. It just don't vibe well. And then Cynthia shared that Lauren had apprehension about inviting Kenya, and Porsha was basically like, as she should. My sister know better. She know not to play with me. And then all the time they were talking about Kenya, you notice Latoya was quiet as a church mouse. She better be, because she not here to save you. She ain't gonna cape for you right now. Overall, it was a decent episode. They're building up to whatever is going to be the beef between Kenya and Porsha, and I'm over it. It's unnecessary. Let's find something else to do. This whole Kenya Moore act, I think that's what kind of drove her husband away from her. It's like, at what point do you have more integrity than this TV show and be who you genuinely are? You know, it doesn't serve her as a woman of her age, as much success that she's achieved. You know, she got $1 million hair care company. Like, you don't have to be this ugly, vile person on television anymore. Revamp. Rework the wheel. Who are you? Show us who you really are. If that's not who you are, like, I would much rather see her explore her relationship with her mother than see her beat up on Porsha for the 25th time. Like, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But hey, this is where we are. If production put that battery in her back and tell her to be the antagonist, that's what she gonna do. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I will be back next week with another one. Hopefully. Bye.